All right. Third time's the charm. I've been having issues recording the audio for this. Sorry guys, there's no in-game audio. When I recorded this, it actually started recording King's voice, and that's not the content I'm trying to make at the moment. So I had to mute the in-game audio to get rid of that. My apologies. Well, today we are flying out the F8U Crusader, also nicknamed The Last Gunfighter, and apparently this thing is insane. A couple years ago when I first got this plane, I tried flying it, and I actually really did not like it. It felt ugly, it felt fat, it felt hollow, it had no character, it flopped around everywhere. It was not a fun time. And maybe Gaijin buffed it some way, somehow, but my friend King over here, he recommended it to me. And I'm like, what the hell? I'll try it out. You're trying to grind out Power Rating 10 Japan anyways. So I bring it out, and so you guys have, so you make a slice of toast, right? And you grab the butter knife, and everything. And this is what this plane felt like. You grab, and it was stock, mind you, it was stock. You grab the butter knife and you put it in the butter, and it's so soft. You just effortlessly pick up butter. You spread it on that piece of toast, and it's evenly covered. It is perfect. And then when it melts, you taste the toast, and it's freaking amazing. That's what this plane feels like. And I have no regrets. I actually spaded this thing. I played it so much that day. I spaded it in a day, and it was the most fun I've had in Warzone in a long time. I've had at least 5 aces in the thing, easy. You're gonna see two of them today. This is one of them, and this thing just rocks on everybody. It doesn't care if you're faster than it, if you're slower than it, if you turn better. You well, actually most things this battle rating actually do not turn better than this thing. The MiG 21 SBK SPSK can give you a run for your money. If it starts behind you and they pilot that pilot knows what they're doing, you're gonna have a rough time. But other than that, well, and A10s. If you're having a dogfight in A10, just be careful. I got sniped from 1.3 kilometers out the other day while I was trying to dogfight one. I wasn't even mad. That was a good shot, but still, just be careful. Um, this thing comes equipped with 420mm cannons and 4 AIM-9Ds when spaded. And but 20mm cannons have about 560 rounds. It's a lot of ammo, but it goes quick. And the guns, they hit hard, but they also don't. It's kind of hit or miss on whether or not you're gonna get and you're gonna destroy aircraft with one burst or not. But at the same time, we all know how bad I suck at aiming sometimes. It's just bad. But what this thing excels at is the dogfight. It is amazing at it. Low speed, high speed, medium speed, stall speeds, barrel rolls, rolling scissors, stall fights, you name it. It'll do it all. It can do it all. I have cleanly dogfought people in this 10.0 aircraft at 350 to 450 kilometers an hour. That's prop fighting speed. That's low tier prop fighting speeds. And this thing does not lose any sense of control in the slightest. Especially when you have the combat flaps out. Now, the interesting thing about the combat flaps on this plane is you pop them, the leading trailing edge of the wing will actually come down. It won't go down the back like most aircraft would. It comes down the front. And for whatever reason, you pop those out around 650, 750 kilometers an hour, and you become a zero. You're out turning everybody as long as you keep it horizontal. If you go vertical, you're gonna have some issues. Now take a break real quick. This is a shot that taught me how to use the AIM-9Ds, and I found out it wasn't just shift spacebar. It's about positioning. I know in the past I said missiles take no skill, but yeah, I take it back. I found out they kind of do. They really do kind of do. And the AIM-9Ds are great for training, for practicing missile combat because they're not overpowered, but they're very forgiving. They're very exaggerated in how they move. They pull really far, not hard, but they pull far. and they go very fast and very far. They have a very great long range, but they are flareable. You can actually defeat them without flares. So what you do is you get fast as possible. The guy, let's say the F8U, F8U's on your six. You go as fast as possible. He launches the missile. You bank left hard as you can for a good like 2 seconds, and then after that, you bank right. And you do this 2 or 3 times. Probably only need to do it twice, but by the second time, you've bled the missile of enough energy to where it can't even keep up with you, and it should miss. But this also depends how close you are to the missile. If you're sub 1.5, 2 kilometers, you're probably not going to dodge it without flares. Sorry, guys. The thing pulls 18 Gs. It will hit you, especially at that range. And it reaches out pretty far, especially at altitude, man. I've had no issues at altitude just nailing people with this thing. My only gripe about this plane really is that it's not very fast. Granted, at 10.0, nobody's really going that fast, but most 10.0 aircraft are actually super. From my limited experience, I'm sorry, I don't have that much experience with 10.0, but from what I'm aware of is that most 10.0s are perfectly capable going supersonic at low altitudes. This thing, however, is not. This thing is not capable of going supersonic at low altitude. It will hit Mach 1, maybe 1.01, but on the deck it will not go far faster than that. It's either the airframe or the engine just doesn't put enough power. I'm assuming it's the airframe because, from my limited aerodynamic knowledge, this thing doesn't have very good area ruling. I could be wrong. If you know about more about that, correct me in the comments. It's cool. As you can see, I'm kind of in a cluster here, and it's kind of a pick your target as best you can. I want to get RP. I want to get my rewards, and so I don't want to waste my time going after a guy where there's already 2 teammates on him. There's no sense of that. There's a waste of my plane, waste of my time. I'm gonna go after somebody else. We merge with this hunter, and we're just gonna follow him. We're trying to get the kill, and we're just gonna launch a missile his way. Now, on terms of when you get the missiles, so that's not your primary weapon, but neither are your guns. You're gonna expect to get about half your kills with the guns and half your kills with the missiles. So that's one thing I do like about this plane is you can use both perfectly well. Unlike higher tier planes, like when you get to things like past 11.0 where missiles are your primary weapon, this is the perfect like in between for those who only know how to use guns in dogfights and those who know how to use missiles in dogfights. So it's a pretty good training for both ends. That is my 4th kill. That hunter in the background is going to be my 5th kill. And when we get to him, I want you to watch just how easily I stay behind this hunter. And I get the hunter isn't the most maneuverable plane, but at the same time, a subsonic usually tends to be more maneuverable than a supersonic aircraft. But this thing just rinses everybody. The actually only 9.3 aircraft I would be willing to fight this thing, well, actually 2, would be the MiG-19 and the Shenyang F5. Because the MiG-19 can pull energy like nobody's business and can just loop and loop and loop. And if you bring the F8U of its energy, it has trouble getting it back. But the Shenyang F5 it holds its energy like the MiG-19, but not to an extreme. What its combat speed, where it likes to maneuver, is in similar combat speed to F8U, except slightly lower. But it maneuvers a lot better. I've actually had no issues flying my Shenyang F5 against the F8U. Yes, they are very much faster than you, but 9.3, what isn't faster than that in that plane these days? It really is just rough. Now just watch me just pulling this guy. He's going slower than me. He was going slower than me, and I just pull behind him easily. High speed, low speed, medium speed, anything. It doesn't care. It will pull on you, especially with the combat flaps out. Now, I will advise a warning about the flaps, landing flaps. You get both the front flaps and the back flaps that go all the way down. The wing tilts up. It's pretty cool. But if you're going for a landing, don't use them. Um, you will just hover there and you will not descend altitude. You'll just continue losing speed, and I was too scared to try it. So I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the Devil Ace. Bye bye.